Hello everyone and welcome back to another Schmeat video. I was going to make a video a couple days ago about how the Hornets seem to all get COVID at the same time. LaMelo, Terry, Rozier, Jalen McDaniels, Ish Smith, and one other player. Forgetting who it is. I was going to make a video a couple days ago about it, but I decided to wait, see if any other interesting news came about. What the good thing is we are still competitive in the games where our scoring, our playmaking, and LaMelo is not there in these past two games. We won a close game versus the Hawks and lost a close game in overtime versus the 76ers. Obviously, we've had a bunch of people step up. I've seen highlights of James Bouknight, which is very good, at JT Thor, which is very good. Kai Jones, not so much. I thought I would see more production out of him. Kelly Oubre, 28 points last game. Someone that I think I should make a whole video about, give my apologies to for being such a sore loser last season towards him, is Cody Martin. Maybe I should make a video about him, but what the title of the video is about Myles Bridges and how the Hornets need to make a move for a center. And I said this last offseason where I was like, it's fine to get a center in the draft like Kai Jones. It's fine to get even a center in free agency like Mason Plumlee, but that is not that much of a step up. Like Kai Jones, developing young big, doesn't really have a post presence. He's more of a sometimes shoot it from three, sometimes not. Doesn't really have a post move, really athletic nonetheless, but that's not really what the Hornets need. They need a consistent scorer, consistent shooter outside even, because Mason Plumlee can't stretch the floor that much. Obviously, he's a little bit better in the mid-range than Cody Zeller, but as an overall player, as an overall offensive threat, I think they're very similar in Cody Martin and Mason Plumlee. Obviously, Mason Plumlee, although Hornets fans love to judge him, he is a step up defensively than Cody Zeller. He just is. But what would be a revolutionary talent that we could bring to this team is this guy right here, Myles Turner. I think his acquisition, if we could get him via trade, which there's, the Pacers organization said they're willing to move Karis LeVert and either Sabonis or Myles Turner. And if we could jump on, I don't really want Sabonis. I think that would be a little bit weird. He's 6'11", but I don't know how that fit will work. I think Myles Turner being 7'1", a threat from outside, had a 40-point game this season. I think he is what the Hornets need. And I said it this offseason how we should try to make a trade for maybe a Porzingis, maybe like some center. Rashard Holmes in free agency, although he got signed back to the Kings on a rightfully very good deal. He's been very quiet this season and he's been very good. But I said we need a deal because although Mason Plumlee's fine, he's not that much of a step up from Cody Zeller. But you know who is Myles Turner. And if we could get him, because he's in these trade talks now, the Pacers organization has made it official, has made it a thing to note that other teams can put trades out for Myles Turner. And I think the Hornets, they have shown that they can trade up in the draft. They have shown that they're a free agent destination for Kelly Oubre, for Ish Smith, even though he was born in Charlotte. They've shown that they are a destination. They are a young core, and who is young and who is a bright young center is Myles Turner. He just is. And if we could bring him in I was thinking of a couple trades before this video, but I think what the Pacers would want is, I don't think they want Cody Martin and Kai Jones in return. I think it's more than that. I think it requires maybe a first-round pick, PJ Washington, although I know a lot of Hornets fans stick up for PJ, and I do like PJ. But I think this season, through the first 20 or so games, we have figured out who the better player is between Myles Bridges and PJ Washington, because last season it wasn't that clear. Myles Bridges had that big, breakout 10-game stretch where he was averaging 25 points a game, but again, that was with a lot of injuries on our team. And with this season, the first stretch of the season, he has shown that without injuries and without, with LaMelo, with Gordon Hayward there, with Terry Rozier there, with like his touches, like he can still get 25 to 30 a game. And PJ Washington, not the same. Although his three-point threat is still there, he's still a great player. Don't get me wrong, PJ Washington is a great player, but I think we all know that the front runner for most improved Myles Bridges is a much better player than PJ Washington, so I would be fine with trading PJ Washington away. Obviously, it's more than PJ Washington. I said a first-round pick, PJ Washington, maybe a young player. Maybe we give away Scotty Lewis, although I don't think many fans know who that even is. We just drafted him second round. Maybe we give away some like him. Maybe they ask for Mason Plumlee in return, which I'm fine with. Nick Richards maybe is a solid young big. Obviously not to the same level as Myles Turner, but I think the Hornets need to make a move, or at least try to make a trade. I know we have been in these trade talks. We've been in these conversations for these centers. I know we have, but it's just executing one. I know one of these has to turn out in our favor, because I know in the past I've seen articles where we've put a bid in for Montrezl Harrell. We've tried to get guys on our team. It's not like the front office is just willy-nilly out there and not trying to get a center. They hear the fans. They know what these guys need on our team. They know that we need a center, and they know that we need a true, reliable big man that can grow with LaMelo. And I think a great piece in that is Turner. So I think the Hornets really need to make a move for Turner, and they need to do it now, because I know a handful of teams that need center depth and need a better center than they have on their team. And if we can be the one that actually gets Myles Turner, I am up for that, because it's been 2 years in the making where we've heard about trade talks for Myles Turner. It's kind of like the Kevin Love situation where we hear all these trade talks. Oh, Kevin Love's going to Portland. It's been 2 years. And that's kind of the same with Myles Turner, where he's a great player, but he's just hasn't gotten traded. And this is the first real time that publications other than Bleacher Report making up a trade is talking about Myles Bridges actually being traded, and the Hornets organization actually doing this. So I think this is the right time to trade for Myles Turner. And that is today's video, all about trade talks, because there is improvement. We can't, the Hornets can't act stationary. Yes, we're 6th in the East right now, but I think a Myles Turner acquisition is really good for our team, and it improves our team so much, makes us so much more dynamic. The amount of times, because I went to the Hornets game in person, the amount of times I saw Mason Plumlee standing in the fucking paint while LaMelo Ball is driving down the hoop, too many times they count. And with Myles Turner spreading the floor at the 3-point line, LaMelo has free lane to the hoop, and he has just another person to kick it out to, like he likes to with Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, to kick it out to and make a shot. And obviously we know with basketball, threes are more than twos, and with Myles Bridges, he can knock that down more consistently than Mason Plumlee, Kai Jones. Nick Richards doesn't even try. He is that guy, and I think we could make a package for him. I've seen a lot of Turner for Gordon Hayward. I don't know about that. I think I don't know why the Pacers would want to do that. They're looking for a more rebuild, I think, was the whole narrative around this, that they've been at this weird equilibrium where they're at the the 8th seed, the 9th seed, and they kind of just want to rebuild. And I don't think a 31-year-old Gordon Hayward would be the definition of a rebuild. It'd be more of a PJ Washington first-round pick and a Kai Jones maybe. So that's the video. That's my thoughts on it, and I'll see you guys later.